thinking maybe then she'll come back to me, but I'm here by myself instead, looking stupid in my king-size bed. She's in my head and she's in my dreams, thinking maybe she'll come back to me, but I'm here by myself instead, looking stupid in my king-size bed. Stay away, don't try to read my feelings. Hate the way you try to keep believing all the shit I put you through. I'm fucking sick of me with you. Don't come close for any fucking reason. Don't you know I'm tired of you dealing with all the shit I put you through. I'm fucking sick of me with you. And not the words I wanna say, but it's probably better off this way. Cause who could ever understand that this is just the way I am? I'm the villain no one ever misses. Everybody wishes I leave them alone. Cause I can't make it right, I can't save a life. I'm the criminal, gotta say I'm the villain. Gotta keep my distance, even if I miss them, I won't let them know. I'll be the villain on my own. So I spend my time away from everybody in my life. I'd hate for anybody to think I just need someone's help when I can't be with someone else. Cause anyone that's ever been around me wishes they could just forget about me. All I do is hurt my friends and hope they won't come back again, when all I want's to be with them. I'm only human in the end, but I won't try to make them stay. They probably leave me anyway. Cause I'm the villain no one ever misses. Everybody wishes I leave them alone. Cause I can't make it right, I can't save a life. I'm the criminal, gotta say I'm the villain. Gotta keep my distance, even if I miss them, I won't let them know. I'll be the villain on my own. Don't say that you see the good in me. Don't say that you see that I could be the one you really need. I'm born to be the enemy. Don't say I can make it up. Don't say that I've changed enough. I'll never be the one. Can't forget the things I've done. I'm the villain no one ever misses. Everybody wishes I leave them alone. Cause I can't make it right, I can't save a life. I'm the criminal, gotta say I'm the villain. Gotta keep my distance, even if I miss them, I won't let them know. I'll be the villain, I'll be the villain on my own.
Hey, fishy, 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 fish. Going for a treat today. It is not only a detective game, it's also a magical girl game. I hope Mari stops by, that'd be cute. Treat! Yeah, treat! Treat? No treat. Treat? No treat. Treat? No treat. Oh. Anyways, we're gonna be doing... No, treat. No, we're having a treat today. We're actually having a little bit of a treat as a treat today. Alright, I'm gonna crack open a cold one. I don't have anything unique. I just have V8 energy, so I am going to drink one of these, which it hasn't been a bit. Has been a bit, so I am not addicted to caffeine again yet. But yeah, it's a visual novel. It's a magical girls. It's murder mystery. It's got all the shit we love, you know? And it's sapphic. Literal lesbians in love and married. I read the description of both of the main characters. They are retired magical girls. So here, let me go read that for you as a treat. As a treat. Okay, so we have Sherry Cohen, a former magical girl turned private eye. Sherry Sherlock Cohen uses her powers of clairvoyance to solve crimes nobody else can. Logical, tough, and self-reflective, Sherry has a soft and sensitive side that only her wife Kaylee is allowed to see. However, the uncertain future of a life without powers will test her resolve more than anything has before. And then we have Kaylee Cohen. Kaylee always enjoyed the life of a magical girl more than her wife Sherry. So making use of her shapeshifting abilities to the fullest, you'd never guess that such a soft and compassionate woman was one of the most successful cat burglars in Chicago. Full of love, laughter, and zest for life, Kaylee is a wonderful presence everywhere she goes. I thought of me and Chrissy, and reading it again, I'm thinking of us kind of like as a blend of the two, but like, oh, I just realized they have the same birthday, not the same month, but the same day. You're both born on the 7th, and you're in March. My birthday's in March. Hobby: collecting stuffed animals. Hobby: cake. Favorite food. Hobby: knitting. Favorite food: takoyaki. And then there's other people. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna play a cute lesbian game. 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 Let's go. There's game. Beautiful. Full screen. Perfect. Oh yeah, transitions. Whoa, they're transitioning in game. I'm gonna go with open dyslexic. I don't know if it'll help me. We'll see. Speed is always fastest. Auto delay is fine.
Self-voicing enabled. Set self-voicing off.
Imagine that's how we did it.
Self-voicing disabled.
So funny. Oh, Dada tells you. A bunch of shit. Holy fuck. Oh my god, there's so much lore. There's so much lore. All we have is Sherry. There's multiple endings. There's 4 endings apparently. Redemption, which is a good ending, I assume. And then 3 bad endings: cold blood, regret, and hopeless. Great. That sounds cute. In the beginning, there was only darkness. And from that darkness, 2 beings emerged: benevolence, malice. I wonder which is the good one. Why does there have to be a good one and a bad one? Hi Sam, how are you doing? Hi Fish, how are you doing? I'll post on Blue Sky since my niece is still asleep. Which does remind me, Lou apparently has been voted best cat girl in the Discord server she's in for only ever sleeping and occasionally saying meow in the Discord server. So Lou is best cat girl. Okay. Post. Okay, I have posted. From them, our universe was born. And within that universe, one small planet was chosen as their eternal battleground. Neither being had a physical form, and so they could not battle directly. And so a new species was born. Species would one day grow to include the proxy soldiers meant to fight their battle for them. Malice was the first to create such soldiers. It reached out to the cruel, the greedy, the uncaring. It offered them great power as reward for their service, but also bestowed a new form upon them. A twisted, monstrous form that reflected their true nature. These monsters, bound to one day succumb fully to their transformation and exist as no more than mindless beasts, came to be known by a single name. Consumed. Hey, Jay. These consumed lived normal lives by day, but embraced their cruelty by night. Their existence was kept a secret, so as to better facilitate their activities without resistance. Benevolence saw these beasts, and knew that there was only one way to combat them. Not by driving humans into paranoia and violence, but by creating warriors of its own. It saw the compassion, the love, the desire to do good that existed within the hearts of young women. These qualities represented benevolence's ideals more strongly than any other humans. And so, they were chosen to be the champions of the light. Benevolence came to them without deceit. It told them the truth of the universe, and told them of the dangers they would face by joining this battle. None were forced to take up arms. Only those prepared to brave the dangers of battle for the sake of their fellow human beings took up this sacred calling. These brave warriors were granted a new form of their own, but one that would not last. To make room for the next generation and to safeguard those whose powers might wane with age, their form and abilities would disappear upon reaching 30 years of age. But as long as they had the power within them, as long as they felt the desire to defend the world from evil, they would be known as magical girls. For millennia, magical girls have worked together to protect our world from the forces of malice. While the world at large may never know of them, these hidden warriors have saved countless lives. And for every war, it began with a single question. One that came first in a dream, then once again in the waking world. You want to protect this world? I do. I didn't realize I had to pick an option. Owen! Huh? Are you done here? If I don't get my team on this scene soon, CPD is gonna have my ass, and dealing with them on a good day is already torture. I sigh and roll my eyes. The only thing worse than a case I can't crack is one where I have to deal with the cops. But I guess that's par for the course when you're looking for a serial killer. Locked room killer added to your data. I wish I could just tell them to piss off and let me focus. But a night in jail and a very worried wife were enough to keep me from trying again and again. At least Nat is nice enough to let me check out the scene. But that doesn't make up for the dirty looks I get from everyone else here. I guess they're not a fan of some punk doing their job for them. Give me a few more minutes. I want to inspect the body again. Just hurry it up. And for fuck's sake, wear some gloves this time. Yeah. I can't explain to them why I need to touch things directly to use my powers on them, or why every time I do, I can't help but think of how this all started. It was easier when I was a kid. Back then, all it took was a dropped pen to find a consumed lair. Dealing with humans hurting other humans is much harder, not to mention more depressing. Can I have room for a second? Are you seriously asking me to leave you alone in a crime scene? Seriously? Yes, seriously. Nat sighs and throws up her hands. She owes me, and she knows it. Fine, but if you breathe a word to anyone, the next crime scene is going to be at your house. Pasha Rubinsky. For all of Nat's bluster, I'll take dealing with her over dealing with actual cops any day of the week. At least she can't get away with attacking me. Which is a lot more than I can say for Chicago's finest bunch of pricks. She walks out with a huff, leaving me to work. As soon as she's gone, I remove one of my gloves and close my eyes. My powers of clairvoyance only work on inanimate objects. I was 15 when I first learned that that includes corpses. At least it was a rarity back then. Back when I was actually saving lives, helping people, as opposed to whatever I do now. With a sigh, I reach out and put my hand on the victim's body. Turn back the clock, bring the past to me so that I might see the truth. For the sake of the innocent. Visions of the victim's last 24 hours fill my mind. I can't see the finer details the way I could when I was younger, but I'm still able to track his movements and activities through the time period. I call the power spirit reflection. Most of the time, anyway. Some days I tend to call it shitty clairvoyance instead. Not an inaccurate name. For starters, I can only see backwards, and even then, it's not nearly as powerful as real clairvoyance would be. All I can do is track an object's movements and positions over the last 24 to 48 hours. If I had a murder weapon on hand, it'd be easy. I could find out where it came from and get a vague idea of who'd held it. But there's only so much I can tell from a corpse. I know this is his house, and that he hasn't left home all day. I can see him moving from room to room. Then I see him struggling. His movements grow erratic. In the living room, he tries to fight back, but it's not enough. My eyes snap open as I yank my hand away. The image doesn't leave my head. It'll be there for the rest of the day. I wipe off my hands and rub my temples, the same familiar questions filling my mind. What am I doing here? Why am I still getting myself involved in this shit? I've got a master's degree, for God's sake. I could be working in a hospital. Hell, I could have my own practice. I haven't been a magical girl for more than a decade, but I'm still getting myself wrapped up in mysteries. And what happens when I lose my powers next year? Am I just gonna screw around in crime scenes and make wild guesses? Not like these are new thoughts, but they've gotten worse lately. Especially today. It's her day, after all. My enhanced self-doubt is cut short by Nat slamming the door open again, looking at me with annoyance. Time's up. They're sending me and my team in now. Fine by me. I'm done here. Already solved the case and saved the day, Sherlock? Oh, totally. I'll have Moriarty in handcuffs for you by tomorrow. She doesn't respond, just jerking her hand toward the door in the universal gesture for get the hell out. I stand up and step back as her usual band of masked forensic guys file into the room. Nat glares at me as I continue to look around, blatantly ignoring her demands as I leave them to be. It's not like it's illegal for me to be here, but her team has complained enough about me interfering enough already. Sherry, I'm not going to tell you again. Fine, I'm going. If the full forensic team is coming in, then the cops are sure to follow, and they'd be all too pleased to make me a scapegoat. I must have some nerve trying to actually solve the crime instead of finding some poor bastard to pin it on. Sure, they don't understand my methods, but I've still got a better track record than any of their esteemed detectives. Besides, I'm in no hurry to tell them that my method is being a former magical girl. They think I'm weird enough as is. Not like I care what they think, but still. I don't exactly miss fighting consumed, but sometimes I feel like I'd rather be risking my life fighting monsters than dealing with cops. At least when I was saving lives instead of just picking up the pieces. The wind whips against my face as I drive home, but I don't even feel it. I'm too preoccupied with the thoughts of getting some rest when I get out there. 15 minutes later, I barely make it to the couch before my aching muscles protest. Even though the sore back and knee pain, something about the case I just left to sit with me. But I can't figure out what it is. It's not like I haven't dealt with a murder before. Hell, I've even dealt with multiple murders before. Maybe it's the lack of evidence. Nothing from my powers, and nothing from the surroundings. Entry point, murder weapon, any physical indication that someone else had entered the house. None of it. But that's not new either. There are plenty of cases where the cops ruined the scene before I had a chance to get there. My mind keeps turning, checking every possibility before discarding it. Logically, there's no reason for me to feel so uneasy this time around. But I can't shake the feeling that something's off. Eventually, I shut my eyes with a resigned sigh. All I have are maybes. I'm really sick of maybes. If I could just find one certainty. Cohen household added to your data. My train of thoughts grinds to a halt as I look toward the source of the sudden splashing sound. It isn't rain or anything like it. Rather, it's coming from right outside the door. Hello? I sit up to find a puddle of strange pinkish liquid seeping under the door. It glides across the floor without any trace left behind. If I didn't know any better, I'd be freaking out. Instead, I just sigh. The door was unlocked, you know. You could have just come in normally. A voice emanates from the puddle. A very cute voice. Yeah, but where's the fun in that? As I watch, the liquid comes together into one point and begins to solidify, rising into a pillar before taking the shape of a beautiful woman. Long black hair streams down the newly formed head as the remaining facial features take their place. Haley's eyes open, and her mouth forms into a mischievous smile. There's no way I'm going to let my last year of shapeshifting pass me by without at least a few pranks. This one is a classic, after all. If by classic you mean grossing me out for over a decade, then yes, it certainly is a classic. And that's exactly what I mean. Haley Cohen, added to your data. I sit up and make room for her on the couch, patting the cushion beside me. Welcome home, baby. I lean my head back as she bends down to kiss me, the warmth of her lips offering warm comfort. I never really feel at home unless she's here with me. As soon as our lips part, she hops onto the couch to sit down next to me, resting her head against my shoulder and wrapping her arms around mine. We both let out a contented sigh in unison. This is the best part of the day. How was your day? Not too eventful. My mark was home, so I had to settle for just looking around the place. I think I'll go back for whatever's in his safe this weekend. Wait, you don't know what he's got in there? The guy's one of those rich executive types, so I'm sure it's got something good. Besides, finding out is the fun part. It's not always about the money, you know. And that's why you're the best in the business, baby. Aw, thank you, sweetie. She gives me another kiss before snuggling closer to me. You'd never be able to guess by looking at her that she's one of the most notorious cat burglars in Chicago. Then again, that's part of why she gets away with it so easily. Of course, being a shapeshifter doesn't hurt it either. You make any progress on the case today? I sigh, wishing I could forget today's visions. This job would be a lot easier if they didn't linger in my mind for so long. Nothing useful, yet another locked room mystery, just like the others. Either this guy's really good, or I'm losing my touch faster than I thought. Don't say that, sweetie. There's never been a case Sherlock Cohen can't solve, right? I don't know. It's more than just being stumped. I just feel kind of burnt out, you know? Like, I'm not sure if I even have the energy to see this case through. And putting up with the cops makes it even worse. Haley kisses my cheek. I can tell she's trying to hide the worry in her eyes for my sake, even though she knows she doesn't have to. Maybe you should retire early, honey. I know you're sick of dealing with them, and I've nabbed more than enough to set us up with a comfortable nest egg. I chuckle, running my fingers through her hair and kissing her forehead. And lose my chance to whine to you when I get home? Never. We both laugh at that one, before settling into silence. I don't know how we'd make it through the day if I couldn't look forward to cuddling at the end of it. Maybe tomorrow you and I can go over the details of the case again. 2 heads are better than 1. And you know how good I am with murders. Don't say it like that. You sound like a serial killer. I do not. Besides, you know I'm more than a serial thriller. And that was awful. Like, really awful. You're just jealous you didn't come up with it first. You'd think that after 12 years, her sense of humor would have improved. It hasn't. Just like me and Chrissy. I'd say the dumbest shit, and she's just like, no, I get it. She's not wrong about being helpful, though. I might be good at putting together evidence in a pattern and drawing conclusions. He's always been good at seeing the tiny details I miss without her, and that's also true! Like, she'll fucking... She's so meticulous about things and overthinking stuff. And then I'm just like, no, but love, but sweetheart, but what about, like... they said this thing, you said they said this. Okay, why don't we just do that? And then she goes, I know, but I'm like, is that even enough? And I'm like, just try it. I'm like, just do it. And then she does it, and she's like, okay, love, you were right. And I'm like, I told you. I love her so much. I just always feel a bit guilty when I bring her in. She's got her own job, and making her do mine feels too unfair. She basically says the same thing to me, too. She's like, I'm sorry, I'm complaining again. I'm like, okay, and she's like, but you work hard, too. And I'm like, love, I'm loving this. Sweetheart, please. This is literally, like, this is giving me life. I fucking love her so much. But maybe that's just me being stubborn. And it is her being stubborn. It's so fucking true. Because I complain to her about work all the time. I just like complaining. She doesn't. She's like, I don't feel like I'm complaining. She's like, because it's not going to help it at all. And I'm like, does it make you feel better? Because you don't have to think about it as much? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, then it's helping. Then it's good. Then it is doing something. She's like, no, but all the things I'm complaining about aren't going to change. I'm like, and you can stop thinking about them for now, right? And she's like, yeah. So, I love her. I just love her so much. Missed her. I hope she's able to talk today. If you need me to break into the station and find out if they're keeping anything from you, I'm more than happy to. It's not like it'd be the first time. And that was nearly 10 years ago. With those inflated police budgets, security would be way tighter than it was before. Cameras, more guards, that sort of stuff. And you almost got caught last time, remember? Are you saying that I've gotten worse? No, wait, I'm saying that they've gotten better. A lot better. Hey, you never know until you try. I bet I could do it. I give her a kiss on the cheek before shaking my head. What happened to the shy little high school girl that always looked before she leaped? Oh, her. I hear she got a lot less shy when she married a real troublemaker. A troublemaker, eh? The worst kind. I lift up her head and kiss her again, much deeper this time. One of my hands moves to her side, drifting up and down her abdomen. Before I can go any further, she pulls away with a frown. We'll have to save this for later, honey. Need to get dinner started before Nina shows up. Oh, right. Yeah, of course. Shit, I'd completely forgotten she was coming over. If I'd let that slip, she'll never let me hear the end of it. And on today of all days, too. This case must be weighing on me even more than I thought. I've never forgotten about how important today is before now. It'll be good to have her here, though. Maybe it'll be the distraction I need. Even if it is interrupting another kind of distraction. In that case, I should probably go shower. I smell like a crime scene. I like your crime scene smell. And do you think Nina would, too? I mean, yeah. That's fair. Stand with a stretch, letting out a long yawn. Hopefully, a little cold water to the face will keep me awake through dinner. I owe her that much. You gonna need any help with dinner? It'll be okay. You can go ahead and clean yourself up. As I head towards the stairs and start to climb up, Kaylee calls out to me. Hey, sweetie. Yeah, babe? I'm really glad that shy little girl married that troublemaker. You and me both, honey. You and me both. They're so cute. By the time I'm done showering, most of my stress has melted away, and I can't fully get the image of the crime scene out of my head, but it only comes in flashes now. The house, the blood, the frantic movements of the victim. Using spirit reflection always leaves me with some kind of afterimage, but at least that helps when it comes to studying details. I towel off and throw on a clean shirt before heading downstairs. As soon as I do, the smell of my wife's cooking banishes those last few lingering flashes. All I can think about now is how much I want to dig into some udon. Incredible how delicious her cooking has gotten lately. I want her to say that about me too. I want Chrissy to say that about me. There you are. I'm starting to worry you'd fallen asleep in there. That's something I have to be concerned about too, because she does fall asleep without realizing it anywhere, especially after she's gonna go take a shower or before. No such luck. With the day I've had, I wouldn't mind a little shower power nap. She giggles and turns her head towards me, giving me one of those little smiles that still make my heart flutter before going back to her preparations. She's gorgeous. Don't worry about it being tired. Don't worry too much about being tired. Nina might as well be a natural shot of espresso. Oh, is she already here? Not just yet, but I'm sure she'll show up any second. You know how she likes to travel. Well, hopefully she gives me enough time to do this. I move up behind her, wrapping my arms around her waist and brushing my lips against her neck. She rewards me with a small yelp of surprise before letting out another giggle. Honey, I still have to finish this before she gets here. She can wait. Kisses first. That's so fucking cute. Oh my god, Cher. Can you stop being gay for like 2 seconds? The cake can get some of that bowl? I'm starving. We both whirl around in unison and come face to face with Nina. I sputter and let out a cough, a bit embarrassed about being caught in a moment of sappiness. As we face her, she breaks into a massive grin and lets out a squeal of delight. As always, her excitement is infectious enough to help me get over my initial embarrassment at being caught in the act. Nina Ellencar added to your data. Before we have a chance to speak, she bounds over to pull us into a gigantic hug. I miss you both so much. Next time I go on tour, I'm taking you with me. No arguing. Good to see you again, Nina. But maybe you could use the door next time? No goddamn way. As long as I can teleport, I'm never touching a door in my life. I pat her back, and she squeezes us even tighter. She's got me grinning now, too now. We miss you too. I can't believe how long it's been. 2 years, 73 days, 18 hours, and 12 minutes. That's 2 years, 73 days, 18 hours, and 10 minutes too long. Did you seriously keep track of it down to the minute? No, I'm 100% fucking with you right now. You really thought, though. She releases the hug, winking at me with another grin. Is this alright, so we found Vinus when she realizes that she's actually a magical girl. I hope she wakes up soon, so that I can tell her that. I would say it's Chrissy, but like Vinus is Chrissy's protege at this point. "23 years, and you're still falling for the obvious ones. Get it together, Cher." So, she keeps track of that one, huh? She keeps track of that one, huh? Wonder I fell for it. What, 23 years? I mean, if you're both about to be 30, like, that would just... math. That's just simple math. Now, Nina. Play nice, unless you don't want seconds on Udon, that is. Nina bats her eyelashes and gives Kaylee the most innocent face she can muster. It's pretty good. I'll be good, Mom. I promise. I'm a year younger than you. Yeah, but you've got, like, big mom energy, you know? Is that a compliment? Duh. I know you two aren't exactly hip to modern lingo anymore, but that one's pretty obvious. You say that like you're not 30. Nina huffs and gives me a goofy scowl while Kaylee goes back to finishing up dinner. I'm 29, Cher. I've still got a month before I turn into an old lady, and I'm going to make the most of it. All three of us are. So, you're staying in Chicago all month then? You'd better believe it. I'm off tour for the next 3 months. We are gonna tear this shit up. I don't have the heart to tell her that Kaylee and I have long since passed the tearing shit up phase, but even if we can't keep up with Nina's speed, I'm sure we'll have plenty of fun. The way we used to before. Sweeney, can you grab a few bowls for us? Nobody's going to be tearing anything on an empty stomach. Nina bolts to her chair and sits down, vibrating with excitement. I swear she's about to start drooling. See, that's gonna be Vinus. That's gonna be Vinus when she's confident enough. I oblige my wife, grabbing us bowls and giving her a quick kiss before sitting down. And there's Chrissy, allowing the bit to drop for once. Dinner is served. And there's me being gay. Kaylee's cooking is as delicious as ever. Balls. Yum, bowl. Nina certainly seems to feel the same way, eating her way through 2 packed bowls before I'm even halfway through my first. In between mouthfuls, she tells us stories about life on tour, moving from place to place, dealing with crowds of fans, performing in front of hundreds of people. Makes our job seem easy by comparison. I'd probably crash and burn after a few months, but she's been going at it for nearly a decade now, and despite everything, she's still the same old Nina. Nina I grew up with, still bursting with energy, still driven to stand out in front of a crowd, and still full of love for us. Alright, okay. I still really feel like Nina does give Chrissy energy. Too. Going on tour, she's all the time. She's like, I can't go on tour every time a band invites her to go tour with them. I've always admired that ambition of hers. Even when I was the only one who she'd known since we were kids, she was still the one who brought us together to form a team. Everyone else was ready to rally around a girl with a big dream and a bigger attitude. Hell, I'm not even sure that I would have been able to ask Kaylee out without Nina pushing me to go for it. No wonder she got scouted right out of high school. Being a star was her dream, and her dreams always came true. That and the fact that she got one hell of a voice, too. Although it would be nice if she didn't use it to yell so much when I'm sitting a few feet away from her. After we've had our fill, I head into the kitchen and grab a bottle of whiskey and 3 glasses. Kaylee and I don't drink very often, but this is a cause for celebration. In one way, at least. OMG, you read my mind. Nothing. Like a little nightcap before I go. You're lucky there are no laws against teleporting under the influence. Oh, please. You act like I'd actually listen to some Square's rules. Hell, according to the rules, I was supposed to have dinner with some record label suits tonight. You're not going to get in trouble for blowing them off on our account, are you? Don't worry. It's not like it was anybody that mattered. Besides, being here tonight was way more important than spending a night pretending to care about branding. Nina looks down at her glass, her expression suddenly darkening. Especially tonight, you know? I just nod and start pouring our drinks. We've been dancing around tonight's special occasion since Nina arrived, but I know that couldn't last forever. Kaylee looks down at the table, swirling her drink and letting out a wistful sigh. How old would she be now? 27? Yeah. It's been 12 years now. It doesn't feel like it, though. It really doesn't. Sometimes it feels like it happened yesterday. Other times it feels like a century ago. Death is strange like that. No matter how much I've seen, I know I'll never get used to it. I raise my glass, and they follow suit. Happy birthday, Elle. Happy birthday, Elle. We throw back our drinks. The warm burn of the alcohol a blessing after the chill that filled the room when we said her name. In the moment, it feels like she's here with us, that goofy little smile lighting up the room like it always did. When Kaylee pulls her glass down, I can see a few teardrops streaking her face. Squeeze her hand under the table. He manages a small smile in response. Nina's stony face, meanwhile, betrays nothing. I silently pour us another round of drinks, muttering a snippet of the Mortar's Kaddish. I'm sorry, but I'm not doing that. I respect it too much to attempt it. He who creates peace in his celestial heights creates peace for all of us. Amen. Elburn, added to your dad. After another moment of silence, Nina speaks up with her usual pep. Okay then, I think it's time you told me about that juicy new case you mentioned. It sounded like some pretty next level stuff. I'm sure some people would consider her insensitive for jumping right into another topic like this, but Kaylee and I don't mind. It's better than spending the rest of the evening and morning. Elle probably wouldn't have wanted that. Besides, it's not like I don't want her input. Well, I told her about it, right? Looking to flex your detective muscles too, Nina? Hey, I'm an international woman of mystery. I didn't realize catching serial killers was part of the pop star life. Sounds like somebody isn't in the know. Then... somebody isn't in the know then. Now, show me some of those mad investigator skills. Take another sip of my drink before giving her the gist of things. Lack of evidence left at the scene, how there's no tracks to follow, no clear motives or connections between the victims, etc. She'll occasionally chime in with questions about the crime scene details, still drawing from those magical girl instincts. Kaylee helps me fill in the gaps as well, leaving Nina scratching her head. Damn, that's fucked up. Yeah, no kidding. Does anything in particular stick out to you, Nina? Well, nothing about the crimes themselves, but... She stares at me, fire suddenly appearing in her eyes. Something sticks out about them, about how you're investigating them. What's that? The fact that you haven't put your wife's special talent to use? Kaylee cocks her head to the side, confused. How would shapeshifting help solve the case? No. Your other special talent? Knitting? That's so cute. Your other special talent. Knitting. Oh my god. Nina flings out her arms, waving them up and down in an arc around her. Aura reading, hello? Oh. Kaylee's eyes widen at the significance of what Nina is saying hits us. Oh, of course! Sarah, have you even looked for magic at the crime scene? I mean, let's be real. No murderer can be that good. If they're so mysterious, why not see if they're consumed? Any magic left at the scenes would be too faint for either of us to pick up. But Kiki has always been the best of us when it comes to aura. Of course, I've spent so many years going after humans that the thought of a consumed killer never even crossed my mind. How could I miss something that simple? I really am losing my touch. Find the aura, find the killer. Easy peasy. That's actually brilliant, Nina. I told you that catching serial killers was part of being a pop star. Maybe we should check that out tomorrow night, sweetie. Do you want to come with us, Nina? Nina laughs, taking one last swig of her drink. No way. That sounds like a perfect date night activity. You two have fun with it. I've got nightlife to enjoy. You can really go to clubs that easily. Aren't you worried about getting noticed? Don't you worry about me, Cher. The paparazzi haven't figured out a way to get around teleportation. Not yet, at least. Haley giggles at that one, and I can't help cracking a smile too. Anyway, now that I've pretty much solved your case for you, I think it's about time I hit the road. My producer is gonna have a heart attack if I don't tell her where I am soon. Don't forget to cut me a check once you get paid for catching this dude, though. You don't want to stay for dessert? We have some cake in the fridge. Nina smiles and shakes her head, standing up, stretching. Save a piece for me, Kay. I'll come by for it when I can. Pulls us into one more tight hug, and as warm as ever. I love you two so much, and don't you forget it. I promise I'll come back real soon. You better. I didn't even have a chance to paint your nails. Soon, babe. Cross my heart. Just make sure you let us know before you teleport in. Married couples need their privacy, believe it or not. She steps away, adjusting her hair, and gives us one last wink. No promises. And with that, she's gone as quickly as she arrived. Kaylee takes my hand and leans against me, looking at the spot where Nina was just standing a moment ago. She seems like she's doing well. A lot better than she was last time. Definitely. And you weren't kidding, she really is a shot of espresso. Oh, you're wide awake now. I leaned down and kissed her forehead, wrapping an arm around her. Very. Come on, let's go upstairs. I could stand to unwind a bit before bed. Kaylee raises her head to meet mine, kissing me gently. You don't have to tell me twice. Not like we haven't done this before, but I can't quite shake the feeling we're doing something wrong. I'll have us inside in a jiff, just watch. Haley's confidence brings a smile to my face, even as we're standing outside a crime scene in the early hours of the morning. I haven't seen an officer on watch, but there's no doubt one is somewhere close by. Even though we're hidden, I'm still on edge. Don't worry, we'll be in and out before you know it. She squeezes my hand, interlacing her fingers with mine, in a gesture that always brings me peace of mind. Whatever's got me on edge tonight feels a bit further away. Once we're at the front door, Kaylee's form falls away and she oozes beneath it. A moment later, the door clicks open, and there she is. Told you I can get us in. I never doubted you. She knows I never doubted her, of course. I haven't doubted her abilities for years now, but the smile on her face makes it clear that she appreciates the information. Okay, this time it's the opposite roles. I'm sorry, I have to send this to her. Even if she is watching or going to be watching the VOD, I have to send it to her now because I love her so much. Wait, did I not just... Open pictures. No, I want screenshots. Screenshots! Screenshots. Open. That's in reverse order. That's what she's talking. That's still in reverse order. That's so weird that it does it that way. Am I just dumb? I am just dumb, but still. Oh, does it just not like... I think I understand what's going on. If I make this a 2, does that change? I think it's based on the file names. Get rid of this. I understand now why she says that it's in reverse order. Because I'm on mobile and she's normally on computer. She's normally on desktop. So for her, everything sends in reverse order, but for me, it sends however I normally do it. That's actually kind of funny. Because he's always like, no, like, because whenever she's on mobile, it does work that way. But when it's... I understand now. Yeah, no. And if she's happy, then so am I. But as soon as we take a few steps into the entranceway, smile fades. Kaylee stops in her tracks and takes a deep breath. I don't like this. You feel something already? There were definitely signs of a struggle in here, but this isn't where you died. It's faint, but this aura... Something strange. Let's keep moving. I nod, though I'm worried. Kaylee has such a talent for sensing aura, so it's no wonder she sensed a dangerous vibe immediately. But even though my senses have always paled in comparison to hers, I should have been able to at least sense something. Have my senses really degraded that much? I know I only have a year until they're gone for good, but even now I should still be able to pick up something if I focus on it completely. Is it because of whatever's strange about this aura? I shake my head, dismissing the conjecture. That's not what mattered right now. Instead, I lead Kaylee to the living room and point out where the body was. Long gone by now, and the police have cleaned up most of the bloodstains. Unfortunately, it still reeks of detergent. Still, Kaylee doesn't need to see another corpse. Just because I've gotten desensitized to them doesn't mean she has. Always been the more empathetic one. Is this the room? This is the one. He was on the floor near the ottoman. As far as I can tell, he was injured somewhere else, and then pursued through the house until he succumbed to whatever was chasing him in here. And that's horrible. What a sad way to die. Her foot taps against the floor, betraying an uncertainty I know all too well. It's a telltale sign that whatever she's that whatever she doesn't understand is making her nervous. I step forward and put a hand on her shoulder, hoping to calm her down the way I always do. I don't like being here in the middle of the night, nor do I like putting Kaylee in danger. But I couldn't say no to her about something this important. Hey, we don't have to stay if it's keeping you out. We can leave. Kaylee shakes her head. It's not that, it's... I don't think I'd felt energy quite like this before. It's new. New? I mean, all consumed are different, but there's something really off about this one. It's not normal. Oh, there's no question who did this then. Or what? Serious tone in her voice worries me. We've dealt with particularly strong ones before. Not like this. Even the powerful ones felt familiar. The consumed all have similar energy, just like magical girls. But this, it doesn't feel like a consumed. Not entirely, anyway. I grasp her hand in mine, returning the squeeze from earlier. Even if I can't tell what she's sensing, I trust her every step of the way. Kaylee closes her eyes to think, and the air around her billows in soft, soothing waves. I don't know if it's a side effect of her powers or simply how I feel about her, but it's immensely calming to be next to her while she works. My shoulders sink, my muscles relax, and my head clears. Magic of a different kind. Whenever this thing is, it's long gone. That much I can say for sure. Spirit Reflection told me the same thing. In at least 24 hours, probably more. Kaylee looks at me confused. No, it hasn't. If that were the case, then the aura would be completely gone by now. Then that must mean... it came back. I don't understand. A normal human might return to the scene of a crime, but the consumed are like animals. Why would one go back to the same house they'd already attacked? Doesn't make any sense. Did it come before the attack too? Would it be intelligent enough to scout the place out before? Oh, that's ridiculous. I'm getting way too far ahead of myself here. I just gotta focus on the now. I'm going to check through the other rooms to see if there's anything else I can pick up. You're gonna be okay down here? I'll be okay, I promise. I'll see if I can find anything I have missed. I might have missed. Just let me know if you sense anything dangerous. Okay, babe? Be safe. Don't you worry about me. I still remember how to kick ass. I know, baby. I know. She trots upstairs, leaving me alone. There's not many personal effects left in the room. Anything that looked to be even remotely useful have been confiscated by the cops. Doesn't leave me with much to work with, other than the furniture. Might not be much, but anything counts. Let's see. I press my hand to the end of the couch, trying to find something, anything of clarity. Visions of a restful morning, day spent empty, and then a struggle. Something knocks on the couch, off kilter. Take a moment to rack my brain about what exactly that man was running away from. A shadow? A person. Big enough to toss a couch around, but big enough to scare this guy senseless. It's no good. I just can't see it, no matter how I think. I can't seem to gain any further clarity with reflection. Yet another sign that Sherlock Holmes' detective powers are on their last legs. Frustrating in the moment, but that thought leaves a part of me feeling relieved. Another sign that it's time to move on from this job. To move on from picking up the pieces. To move on from the obligation this power brings. That doesn't sound too bad at all. It certainly means getting a little more sleep, at least. Chair? Kaylee calls me from upstairs, still doing her best to keep her voice hushed in case a patrolling cop decides to make their way back in here. Yeah, what's up? If you're not busy, would you mind taking a look at this? I heave a sigh, giving up on searching for clues on my own. Here's hoping Kaylee's search has gone better than mine. I head up the stairs, peering through the different rooms of the house until I find her in what looks like a study. Kaylee stands up in front of a row of shelves, looking at something on the top. Hey babe, what's up? This, here. Kaylee points to a framed photo. Within it are a man and a woman looking happy together. Judging by the hair, the man must be the victim. He looks so different in life. Do you think the girl is suspicious or something? I wouldn't know, but don't you think she looks familiar? I swear I've seen her before. Like on the streets? This isn't too far from home. Maybe you've crossed paths? No, it's not that. Maybe we met them at a party or something? Man in that picture too, he seems kind of familiar. I don't recognize them at all. Not off the top of my head, no. Now that she mentioned it, something about the two people in the photo does seem vaguely familiar. Maybe I solved a case for them? Or I had one of them as a peer review in a grad school? No, that's not it. God, this is really bugging me. Me too. I'll at least take a picture of it so we can look it over at home. I haven't found anything else up here. And there's no point in staying around a crime scene trying to figure out if we maybe had brunch with somebody. Hey, Dakota.
You are a good girl and a
Thank
good little
you.
fox.
Just make sure you don't get your phone confiscated outside. Pictures of stuff in here could potentially be incriminating.
Is that Dakota? How are you doing, little bear? Keeping a good boy for
He
me.
chuckles and gives me a confident grin. Care Bear, there's more than enough incriminating evidence on this phone as it is. I'm not too worried about it. Oh god, don't tell me you've been taking pics of empty safes again. You can't prove anything. And you say I'm the troublemaker. Haley raises her hand to stop me, eyes suddenly going wide. Kitty, can you feel that? It only takes a moment for me to register the sensation. This time there's no doubt about where this particular aura is coming from. It's consumed, through and through. Where? Haley closes her eyes and sniffs lightly, as if she was tracking it by scent. A couple houses away. It doesn't seem particularly strong, but... Sounds like a job for her. For the current crop of magical girls, then. We should probably head out. I guess so. Haley sighs and looks down at her feet. We know she's still got that warrior instinct, but it isn't what we came here for. Not like it used to be. Sorry, I know that at our age we're supposed to let them take care of it, but maybe we should just drop by to... Suddenly I hear a sharp, piercing scream. It sounds young. Too young for us to ignore. Before I can even utter a word, Kaylee's opening a window, jumping outside. I follow suit, dropping to the street and running after her. She's not the only one who held on to these old instincts, after all. Hey, Dakota. Kaylee leads the charge as we rush toward the spike of magical energy, spurred on by another monstrous roar. All I can do is offer a silent prayer that we'll make it in time. You won't get away from this fiend. There, down that alley. She skids right as I follow. We don't have to travel far before we see it. A grotesque mask of tentacles and eyes the entire width of the alley bursting forth from a human torso. Two of its appendages in the process of wrapping around its would-be prey. It consumed. Get out of here! It's not safe for you! Despite the creature gaining the upper hand, the girl calls out for us in the familiar protective tone of one of the city's guardians. While it's a bit disconcerting to recognize that the girl is barely a teenager, Kaylee and I know better than anyone that magical girls can start young. Not just the outfit that gives her nature as a magical girl away. The fact that nobody else would be able to prioritize the safety of bystanders while they were in that position. We are no ordinary bystanders. I glance over at my wife, who looks back at me with a determined smile. Use it or lose it, right? Nod and give her a thumbs up in return. I guess there is a time to shake off the rust. I'm ready when you are. I close my eyes, readying myself for the transformation. Here's hoping I can still remember the words. Kaylee's hand finds mine, and we begin. For the sake of the world, we will be its guardians. Let our spirits shine through. Don't tell me. Familiar glow passes through my body as I'm lifted off the ground, light bursting from within me and spreading outwards. Our clothes disappear, swiftly replaced by our old uniforms in a cascade of ribbons and magic. I'm surprised it still fits. My revolver appears in my hand as I drop to the ground, my body brimming with power. Prepare to face justice. Haley drops down next to me, her whip snaking out from her hands as she opens her eyes. You will not escape our judgment. We are magical girls. The girl's screams go quiet as she stares at us in disbelief. The consumed too is frozen as it looks towards us with surprise. Definitely wasn't expecting two full-grown women to be ready to fight back. Haley charges down the middle, trusting me to follow her strategy. We don't need words to work together. Our minds can align perfectly at a moment's notice. Yet another perk of working with my wife. I dodge to the right towards the wall, jumping effortlessly up to the third floor of the building and landing on the fire escape. The consumed doesn't notice my maneuver. Its animalistic mind is still focused on Kaylee as she swings her whip in front of it. I can't see her face, but I know she's smiling. Judgment Cage! Entwine him! She swings her whip straight down the middle, thorns ready to slash the monster's hide, but it doesn't move away. That a sickening laugh erupts as Kaylee launches her whip forward. It slaps the whip away with one tentacle and shoots another towards Kaylee with a frightening speed. Its tip sharp enough to pierce straight through her. Bad move, monster. Very bad move. Kaylee shifts in an instant, making a hole in her abdomen that the tentacle passes through without so much as grazing her. Get ready to fire! The reduced mass of her torso warps up towards her arm, extending it forward with the flashing whip past the consumed grasp, right where we want him. When I pull the hammer back, the chamber of the gun fills the brilliant light. 6 shots are more than enough. That's my wife. That's my wife there. That's crazy. Of course, if she was a magical girl, her fucking magical girl weapon would be a fucking gun. Magical gun! Kaylee's whip encircles the monstrous mass. It moves with a mind of its own, binding its tentacles to its chest and tying its legs together. Judgment Cage never fails. Now it's my turn. I fan the hammer as I fire 5 more times, rapidly releasing an arc of holy spheres towards the target. The shots sink into its flesh, filling it with light from the inside out. It manages to let out one more pitiful scream before exploding into brilliantly shining dust. Elimination complete. With its mission accomplished, the gun fades away. It always comes when I need it, but there are times when holding on to it would only make things worse. The last thing this kid needs is for someone to point a gun at her. I hop back down the alley, landing without a sound. You... The girl is sitting with her back against the wall, eyes as wide as she stares at us with shock. It's okay, honey. You're safe now. You're alright. Who are you? I kneel down to her level, offering her a reassuring smile. I don't want to baby the kid, but I know Kaylee and I both want to help her out. We do what we can. We're magical girls, same as you. We just have to have a little more experience. I stand, offering a hand down to help her up. After a moment, she takes it and slowly stands up on shaky legs. I'm Sherry, and this is my wife, Kaylee. We used to patrol around Navy Pier back in the day. Would you mind telling us your name? The girl opens and shuts her mouth a few times before finally managing to speak, her voice barely above a whisper as she stares at the ground. Ruby. My name's Ruby. It's really nice to meet you, Ruby. Do you want us to help you find somewhere to sit down and rest for a minute? Or call you a ride home? She nods, leaning against the wall to steady herself. I'd like to sit down. There's a coffee shop around the corner. That should still be open. Would you be comfortable going there with us? I will drink some water. My turn. We understand if you're not. We know we're strangers and all. Ruby finally looks up at us with wide eyes, clearly still in shock. But through that expression, I can still see a muted fire in her eyes. She'll be okay. Even if you're strangers, I know you're not bad people. Bad people don't get to be magical girls. I would never die straight. Death before detransition, as they say. The conviction in her voice makes me grin. Ricky or not, this kid's heart is in the right place. I like her casual outfit. It's cute. I like her hair. I like it. She's cute. A few minutes later, we're back in our civilian clothes and relaxing with our drinks. Coffee's for me and the wife, and a hot chocolate for Ruby. Do you feel any better, honey? Ruby takes a long swig of her hot chocolate and lets out a shaky breath, leaning back in her chair. I'm no worse for wear. Thank you for your kind assistance. Her voice seems to have taken a deeper cadence without warning. I exchange a wordless look with Kaylee, who gives me the slightest of shrugs. No problem, Ruby. You just take a couple more minutes to relax, and then we'll call you a ride home. Biggie. You need not refer to me as Ruby, ma'am. I have another moniker I use when speaking with a fellow Sister of Justice. Do you know? Indeed. Now that we've become more acquainted, you can call me... She moves her arm in a confusing flourish. She's a superhero, not just a magical girl. She's here for the fucking flair. Nightshade. Kaylee and I share an awkward look, trying to think of an acceptable response. This is definitely not what I was expecting. Nightshade? That's a cool nickname. Alias, sweetie. It's an alias. How better to strike fears in the heart of our enemies than a name that resonates with the powerful energy of the night? Right, yeah. Of course. Powerful energy and all. I think it's a great name, honey. You do? Her voice returns to the high pitch we heard during the battle. She really is just committing to a bit. That's, respectable. Because, like, I spent a lot of time thinking about it and stuff, and I had a bunch of other names I was going to use, like the Dark Moon, or like the Nightbringer, and stuff like that, but I thought this was one of the best, so her eyes go wide again as she clams her mouth shut, suddenly aware of what she's doing. When she speaks again, her voice is back to her Nightshade tone. Why does this feel like Nikki? Like, why is this Lou? We sent it. Now we have pictures to send to her. I love playing fucking sapphic novels because I always have screenshots to take to send to people. Anyway, I believe the Nightshade suits me best. And soon, all of the consumed in Chicago will learn to feel that name. And that's very nice, honey. Totally. You got this. Just make sure you're realistic about what you're ready to take on, okay? If you hadn't shown up, that consumed could have seriously hurt you, or worse. Oh, it was no trouble. I'm certain I could have gotten the upper hand sooner or later. However, having help from some veteran warriors did make things much easier. I tried to keep my temper even, remembering how much of a hothead I was at her age. Every win made it feel easy, like I could take on the world, till I couldn't. And I don't want that for her, or anyone else. Ruby, we're serious. That consumed was way too strong for you to be taking on alone. How long have you been a magical girl? Ruby mumbles her answer, barely audible over the coffee shop ambience. It's been, 2 weeks. Well, 1.5. Oh boy, that won't do it all. And have you had any prior training? Spent any time with more experienced magical girls? She rolls her eyes, no doubt tired of lectures from adults. I get it, this is a lot more important than a talk about curfews or whatever it is kids get talking about these days. Well, benevolence taught me how to fight and use my powers. It didn't take long for me to establish myself as a hunter of the night. That's more than enough to slay the consumed, yes? Smaller ones, yes, but you weren't dealing with a smaller one, honey. Something like that needs teamwork to take down. Ruby pouts, looking frustrated. Her Nightshade persona slips out again. Then how did you learn? You fought them when you were still young, right? What? When we were still young? I'm only 28. Looks like I'm not the only one trying to keep my temper in check. Kaylee can get a bit insecure when she's stressed out. I'm sure Ruby didn't mean anything by it, but I'd better mediate things just in case. She just means when you were a teenager, Phoebe. Of course you're still young. Thank you. Haley huffs and takes a long sip of her coffee as I turn back to Ruby. That's such a me response. Thank you. And to answer your question, Ruby, we learned by training. First by honing the skills Benevolence taught us, but eventually we learned new techniques from other magical girls as well. Knowledge is passed down from generation to generation and then honed with teamwork. That's why magical girls are drawn to other magical girls. The two of us and our friends work together to develop efficient battle tactics, like proper positioning, the right balance between offense and defense, and what parts of a consumed tend to be weak points. It's all about teamwork. Being a magical girl is a group effort. Surely a team isn't absolutely necessary. Nightshade moves in the shadows and strikes unseen. A team would announce that presence. Plus, I'm not, like, super great with people, sometimes. So that's what's going on. I'm sure Kaylee already noticed as much. She's practically psychic when it comes to figuring out what's really going on with people. Me? I'm a lot slower at it as a judge of character. And that's nothing to be ashamed of, honey. Believe it or not, I was the same way. Really? Really, I didn't have any friends before I became a magical girl. Just sat in the back of class in an oversized hoodie and tried not to draw attention to myself. Then benevolence came to me, just like it came to you, and offered me a chance to do something more with my life. I was nervous about teaming up too, but once I met Sherry and our two other teammates, we fell into a rhythm right away. I promise it's not as hard as it sounds. You've made the choice to become a hero, so you're already plenty brave. There she goes again. Her pep talks are as legendary as ever. Ruby takes a long sip of her hot chocolate and lets out a deep breath. Would you be willing to, like, help me, maybe? Help you find a team? I mean, we're a little out of the loop when it comes to stuff like that, so... No, I mean, like, help me be a magical girl. Oy vey. I was afraid she might say that. Get why she'd ask, but... Look over at Kaylee, and to her chin as she thinks over Ruby's request. Surely she must have expected the same thing, but she seems more intrigued by the idea than I am. I guess I shouldn't be surprised. In her nature to take care of the things after all. You want us to train you? I don't have to, like... You don't have to, like, give me lessons or anything, but maybe if I were able to watch you two hunt or something, would that be okay? Oh, well, about that. We're actually retired. We haven't fought a consumed for years. Sorry, but we're not the hunting type. What do you mean? We just fought one. That was an exception. If we hadn't heard you two nearby, we wouldn't have sought it out. Oh. Ruby looks down defeated. I can't help feeling like a jerk for shooting her down like that, even if I was just telling the truth. Maybe you could at least give me a bit of advice? I'm a fast learner, honest. That way I can catch up to everyone else. Her voice is quieter than before, still doing her best to show conviction, but struggling to assert herself. Now I feel even more guilty. This is the kind of thing I'd be happy to do when I was her age, but I doubt I could even offer much help. Anyway, now. I look over to Kaylee to see that she looks even more guilty than I do. When she looks back at me, her eyes are wide and practically pleading. Like she's asking if we can adopt a cat. Vinus! Oh, okay, so this one's Vinus? Never mind, I guess this one's Vinus. I look down and then back at that kid. Well, I guess giving you a few pointers wouldn't hurt. Ruby instantly perks up. So does Kaylee. You mean it? Yeah, I think we could do that. I don't remember too much of what we really set in stone back then, but I can tell you about some tactical considerations and weak points you can exploit. That sort of stuff. And it would be a good chance to try out that magical girl-themed workout regimen I was telling you about. It plays off as a joke, but a look at Kaylee's grin tells me how excited the idea makes her. No way does she want me to stop. No way does she want to stop at Tidbit's advice. She really wants me to train her. Training a rookie magical girl, honestly, that might be just the thing she needs to help with her feeling better about our time as magical girls running out. I hate to admit it, but a part of me can see the appeal as well. Passing on her knowledge to another generation does sound like something close to closure. Or at least a bit closer to closure to... No sense thinking about that right now. Just need to focus on what's in front of me. I mean, if it wouldn't be any trouble, then... If that's okay, like... I guess lessons might be okay. We could try it, at least. Be major, though, okay? It'll be our very own after-school program. How fun. Ruby makes another strange gesture, no doubt reaffirming her Nightshade persona. Indeed. With the wise teachings of my elders, I will gain the strength I need to be a true warrior of the night. Guardian of our fair city. I'm officially making our first training role that you can't call us your elders. My mentors. I think that works. Kaylee nods and takes one last sip of her coffee, finishing it with a satisfied ah. So we make contact in the existing group chat, or will we be working independently? So what now? Oh, I see. Ruby pulls out her phone and opens up some messaging app I've never seen before. I was interested in things like that when AIM shut down, so I'm sure there are plenty of apps like that. My fellow warriors of the night have a GC used to coordinate our attacks on the enemy. I observe rather than participate, but it's quite helpful when it comes to... This is... Oh, fuck, this is... Okay, this is Vinus. Okay, this is Vinus. Wait. Or at the very least, to ensure none of them interfere with my mission of darkness. So, you do know other magical girls. Oh, I met one who sent me a link to the chat, but only once. She was nice and all, but she didn't understand my nature. As Nightshade, I mean. As being autistic. That's autism, I mean. Well, isn't that interesting? It would have been very helpful to have something like that when we were more active. Wouldn't you agree, dear? I shrugged, finishing off my coffee as well. Seems like it would make more sense to just talk on the phone. What do I know? That is kind of like something Chrissy would say. I love her. Hey, if it works, then it works. Probably something we'd need a bit to learn it, though. Perhaps it would be better to simply communicate via text message, then. She puts her phone away, no doubt surprised by her ignorance of whatever app that is. Fucking Discord. You know how to text, right? Yes, I know how to text. Haley leans over to whisper to Ruby. She's still loud enough for me to hear. Fucking Chrissy's literally like, I'm so old, I don't know how technology works. Literally last time I got to talk to her. She didn't know until a few years ago. You're kidding. Look, technology isn't my thing, alright? I'm fine with what we had back when we were kids. He had text messages, sweetie. Ruby laughs at that one. The shaky uncertain is gone from her voice. Looks like our job is done. Let me give you my number. We can figure out a training schedule soon, okay? Okay. I mean, very well. I look forward to mastering the ways of the night with your assistance. Good to hear it. Quite the interesting girl, no doubt. Odd for sure, but every magical girl is odd at that age. We certainly were. Do you need us to call you a ride? I'll be fine, ma'am. My home isn't far from here. Just make sure you're careful on the way home. No more fights, okay? Very well. Even the most tireless of night warriors must rest from time to time. Yeah, exactly. I get up and pay for the three of us, tossing the few bucks I have left to the tip jar. Behind me, Kaylee and Ruby swap numbers and say their goodbyes. She's always been good with kids. Mom energy, I think Nina calls it. And who knows? Maybe it'll help her figure out how she feels about having kids of our own someday. Not like we haven't talked about it before, but never mind. Now isn't the time. Take care, Ruby. We'll see you soon. Kaylee nudges me and mouths Nightshade. Nightshade. Take care of yourself. And you as well, my mentors. I look forward to beginning our training post-haste. With a final wave, Ruby leaves the coffee shop and disperses into the night. Disappears into the night. Well, that wasn't how I was expecting tonight to go. Is that really a bad thing? I guess it could have been worse, but I do think I'm done with surprises for the time being. You and me both. I'm gonna be out like a light as soon as we get home. Haley chuckles and kisses my cheek, taking my hand in hers. We chuckle in unison as we step through the doors and start our journey home. Definitely time to be done with surprises for now. Still, for a night when we'd planned to solve a mystery, it feels like we've been left with significantly more questions than answers, not just about Ruby. That consumed was dangerous, but there's no way it was the locked room killer. Something that far couldn't even open a door normally, let alone sleek through a locked one. So, why did it just happen to show up while we were investigating? Was it drawn to the energy Kaylee felt? Or could it have been some kind of lure, a distraction meant to pull us away from the crime scene? A possibility I don't want to consider. Not just because it's needlessly paranoid, and yet another sign that this case is messing with my head, but because it would mean that there's something larger at play here. Hey, babe. That aura you felt at the house, that wasn't from the consumed we just took out, was it? No, it wasn't even close. In fact, it wasn't close to the aura of any consumed I've seen before. So, what do you think it was? Something new, and probably something dangerous. I nod, feeling the paranoia spreading through more and more of my mind. I'm already way too old to be handling cases with magic involved. Something tells me that this time I don't have a choice. We're getting the band back together! Everything right is wrong again. We're getting the band together. Get the band back together. Alright, let's save. Training regimen. Basic tactics. Threat assessment. Disengagement. Okay. Anyways, suckers, who knows? We might stream again later, or maybe not. Who the fuck knows? You know, I sure don't. Tomorrow we're definitely gonna be doing some more Absalom with Bran. And then Tuesday, Wednesday. Tuesday I'll be here. I should stream. Wednesday I go to Magfest. So no Magfest. No streams from Magfest most likely. Anyways, I love you guys. I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.